Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a weekly video podcast where we talk about all of the latest and greatest happenings in VGC. And this week, we've got a big episode. I say that every week, and this time I have to really struggle to justify it. But we got 3 regionals to preview, which is going to be really exciting. And of course, we've got Japan Nationals phase 5 out of 6. This is the important one. And also, we've got the GC to talk about. So we've got a lot to talk about this week. And I'm joined by my 2 special guests. First and foremost, my co-host, Alex. How are you doing?
Doing good. I think that everyone had a great time playing online Pokemon this weekend, I would have to say. So if if you didn't, well, sorry to hear that.
And then of course we've also got Justin. How are you doing, Justin?
Hello, I'm doing fine. I'm still recovering from getting sick after Atlanta after a full month, so apologies if I ever cough without muting.
I hope you're feeling better real soon. But I'm glad you could make it onto the podcast. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So like we mentioned, this week there were a couple of online tournaments. There was the 8th and final, or the 4th grade challenge, the 8th overall GC. This was the last chance for anyone to get championship points from this best finish limit type of tournament. And we don't have results. We don't really have a full standings or anything like that, so we can't
full
really talk about it. But congrats to Fede Campo for winning the GC. I think he's won a second one. Yeah, so he's gotten a lot of championship points from that.
He won the most recent one, actually. Sorry, before this. He won GC Grand Challenge 3.
That's crazy.
So I guess just a Grand Challenge merchant. When the Japanese players are there, can't keep up. But if it's just the predictable NA, EU, etc. players, Fede Campo's here to farm. And honestly, I respect it. That's it's pretty funny. I think he brought this to a Win a Switch 2 tournament. I saw that we were passing around results of that one. I don't know if it was anything worth talking about on the podcast, but there was people running this slight updated version of the Tang team at that tournament. Maybe Banfox ended up winning with this. I think it's like Terra Ghost on the Miraidon with Specs instead, and the Grimmsnarl does have Covert Cloak here. I don't know if that was run at the offline the offline tournament, but the online version, Covert Cloak, definitely makes sense for a GC type approach. I believe it. All right, you got it here. Yeah, Banfox. Let's see if it shows the info here. Now that's light play at the very least. And that was AV. Okay, but I think Fede ran the Specs version in this tournament somewhere. I'll do a little looking.
All right, I gotta stop sharing my screen because my computer is lagging pretty heavily.
Good.
So hopefully this helps out. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, Fede won with obviously kind of a jank version of the team that everyone was looking out for, and I do think that's really smart, right? I've said this for a while. I think the best way to do GCs isn't throw all the crazy shit at your opponent, but rather just make some slightly changes to a very, very strong team that you know how to play. And people won't be able to just pull up your team sheet and counter team exactly that. And so here we see the Specs Miraidon throwing out a lot of damage, potentially fake out on Grimmsnarl with Covert Cloak, maybe a more aggressive Grimmsnarl. And I think other than that, I forget if they were Assault Vest on Incineroar. I don't think they were, but other than that, those are the only 2 big changes. But those are substantial changes in how you play the team and play against the team.
It is so funny to just see the team that just won the most recent regional go on to make basically win the
Yeah, well, okay.
It's crazy. I mean,
it is
pretty much everything that went on this weekend. That team won it. We had that GC and
yes,
yeah.
Win a Switch.
So I do have. I wish we had. We could probably go dig and find the full teams from this, but I did see Andrea obviously used the same team that the Tanks used pretty much exactly. I don't know if there's any major changes here, but I also kind of think that we were looking through all these teams and a lot of them were not very original. Pretty standard Pagos CSR stuff, pretty standard pretty standard like CSR smear goal stuff. There was a lot of that the stream. I think that if someone has really cooked, they're probably keeping it hidden. They really don't want people to see it. And because this GC, it's you didn't have to post your team. We wouldn't be able to keep track of it. So if you just think really cooked up, and even if you did well in the GC, I can't imagine people are actually sharing it.
Right, right. I mean, I will absolutely take any opportunity I can to dunk on EU, especially because Michael unfortunately couldn't make it to the episode. But since he's not here, we get to dunk on EU uncontested. And yeah, they just all are running the exact same stuff that you saw over here. No surprise. Wow, creative. Come on.
All right. Well,
Um,
I'm kind of looking through all these teams for the first time. I think I might have seen them earlier, but we got Eric Rios. What did he use? Okay. Okay.
So I should mention really quick before we jump into Eric that I didn't end up feeling like pulling up the tweet because there wasn't anything to show. But I think one of the Hoj brothers got like third. They didn't show anything about their team. They just showed their placement. So like that's at least I can tell you who got like third, but yeah, there's nothing to talk about. So let's go ahead and move on to talking about Eric's team here for sure. Um, and yeah, Eric rolling up with BBSS. It's got Ensign and Treads, but otherwise the core four that we're kind of seeing most of these teams commit to Iron Hands and Fari. And yeah, I mean, Ensign adding to a double fake out, we've seen that worked. I mean, this is basically just like Dill's team, right? But instead of going the Ho-Oh route that dropped, what was it? Oh, Dark Ursh, right? Yeah. Instead of going for the Ho-Oh route that replaced the Ensign, like Marco Ferreira was trying, this is Cali Ice over Dark Ursh.
Yeah. It's a cool idea. Um, I don't think this is anything like groundbreaking, right? It is. I mean, but I am curious if people are going to start using more iron treads on the Cali Ice Maridon stuff. Because it's a cool idea. Maybe it's better in best of one when you don't know the item exactly. But even then, like it only runs a couple different items. So this team is like not hard to figure out in closed team sheet. So I do wonder if this is more broadly applicable to open team sheet. And as the Calyrex Ice guys, what do you guys think?
Justin, go ahead.
Sorry, what team?
No, you're good. I was gonna say real quick that Adi, funnily enough, spoilers for later. The Treads on a non-Maridon team ends up doing pretty well in Japan. So I don't know. Maybe Treads is just more meta applicable than we thought, or maybe it's just like really goated in closed sheet. I guess when you don't know exactly what it's gonna get up to. But yeah, Justin, do you think Treads could be a mainstay on Ice Rider teams or not really?
I mean, I think so. I mean,
Or Ice Rider Maridon, sorry.
Treads is just really like, you hit Miraidon for super effective, you hit like Cali Ice for super effective. So I'm sure it's a strong pick in the mirror if you're kind of sick of, having to deal with speed ties, things like that.
Mm-hmm. It is crazy. I mean, what is the base power on Steel Roller again? Isn't it like 130?
130, yeah.
Yeah, wow, sheesh. That is nuts. Audi seems like he might be attempting to do a share screen again.
I am. I know it's going to be hard to go through all these GC teams if we don't know what we're talking about.
For sure. I've just been following with the stream on the delay.
But I am.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for next time. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
I am kind of going through them one at a time from all the teams that we from all the teams that we have. I don't think this is the order of placement, but we do have MDB who was supposed to be on the podcast. He has some things come up, but he got top 64 in the GC, and he seemed to really like the team here, which is a Kyogre Zacian team. This one, I think we saw a lot. I heard there was a lot of Kyogre at Japan Nationals as well. This might be the first of many Kyogre that we get to talk about, but in general, Kyogre does really well in these GCs because it's fairly unpredictable and very powerful. So if you get one turn wrong where you have to scout, for example, you're scouting the choice item, or if it's Mystic Water, or if it's Salt Fest or whatever, you can really get run over. So I'm not surprised to see Choice Scarf Kyogre do really well in the GC. That seems like a really strong GC set. Yeah, I guess I can pull the pace too. But what do you guys think?
Right.
Kyogre's kind of a Pokemon that not many people play. So,
Mhm.
you know, you usually you're trying to get a feel for how the team plays, and if you're playing a best of 3, you can use game 1 to figure out, okay, they're using Kyogre early or they're using Kyogre late. But in best of 1, you get one shot. So if you're like, I got to lead my anti-Kyogre stuff, they lead something else, and they have their Kyogre in the back, and they take out your guys, and just sweep. Or if you lead for their other stuff and they lead Kyogre and just helping hand water spout, and you just lose. And
So,
you don't really get that. I don't feel like you get that practice that much. Like
mhm.
just normally, because Kyogre is kind of a niche mon, but it's still like obviously incredibly powerful. Like water spout is one of the strongest hitting moves in the game.
The best spread move. It's better than the $90 moves, when it comes to looking spread moves at the very least. But yeah, this one definitely has some funny tricks, and it's very reminiscent of the team that he used to get second at Worlds. I feel like the Urshifu I think was the Scarf Pokemon of choice back then, but it had Giraffe Hands and Chien-Pao if I'm not mistaken, and then Dragapult's looking like a sword dog now.
Okay.
I don't know.
And what's
You
the
know,
Heatran?
like,
And what's the?
oh, you know what? There was not a
It
hands.
looks
There
like
was not a hands.
it
Never
looks like
mind.
that Semper Rain team. You scroll down and
Mm.
look at that.
Yeah, definitely looking like a little bit like that too. Something like Gavin would run either as well, and
Yeah,
so
your
yeah,
Glimmer is
but
just the or like your I guess your Pelipper is the Kyogre, and you've got your Ursh,
yeah,
you've got your hands. No priority
Oh,
blocker.
and the Fede Campo team looks like the Fede Campo team, right? Because it's got the Ursaluna and it's got the Urshifu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there's your Lunala,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Wow, can't believe.
Hands is a
Um,
big thing.
all teams are the same forever and always.
And I think one of those teams probably looks like Rinya Sun too.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
agreed.
That one right there.
This team.
I
Uh,
have seen discourse already saying, is the Tang team like gonna
oh,
be
this
like a Rinya Sun level or
this
something? I'm
big
like, dude,
six, bro. We've got our
come
big
on.
six already. No.
I
We're one
thought
weekend, like
I
I don't know,
thought
one
CSR's
tournament.
Zamazenta, Intin, Rilla, Urshifu was supposed to be the new Big Six.
There's a lot of big
That's
sixes.
honestly true though. I mean, I thought Shadow Rider Zama was gonna be it. But yeah, so um speaking on this team one more for just one more second, it is kind of funny though that I think this was probably my favorite call of this team, and it probably was the call to make for this tournament, was to just put Terra Ground on something that shouldn't have Terra Ground. Urshifu running that seems hilarious. Like you just think that you're getting your drift or volt switch off on the Urshifu, and Urshifu says, "Nah, you're not going anywhere," and that is hilarious to me.
Mhm.
Um, Definitely a good thing to try out in best of one specifically. And I should mention, Audie, if you go back to the tweet, one of the people that Michael was working with there, the one that starts with an I, was it like Ibrahim or something?
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting top 32 at the very least. Yes, Ibrahim. So they got top 32. Michael got top 64. And so, yeah, I mostly just wanted to highlight all the teams that I could find that got top 32 because, again, we don't really have results. If anybody has any ones that you think I missed in the chat, of course, or if you heard about, feel free to let me know. Yeah, they got 16th
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah,
Um, which might be kind of relevant when we get to me because I think you said you opened up mine next. Maybe
I
I'm
do. I
I'm
do.
next here, but yeah, my team is down there. I mean, if you have to zoom in past Burn, I understand, but he was the real important part of the photo. Anyways, I just used my regionals team with a Chi-Yu over Volcarona. Just messing around with some stuff that seemed like it could be fun in best of one, and made some other slight edits that I probably won't go into too much detail on. But anyways, the funny thing was I got all the way up to I think 10th, found like the bubble. I think I jumped from 38 to 10 after winning one match, and I was like, all right, cool, it's parking time, and just left my Switch at home to go play board games with friends. And then yeah, it just kind of. I mean, there was an hour and a half left, and I didn't expect it to hold, but I was kind of like coping, hoping. Honestly, I think I hit 10th, and before I left, I was 13th, and like I left within like 20 minutes. Like it was just like, all right, there's no way. But I mean, what's the difference? But 10 championship points, so I don't really care that much.
Right. And
The
this
big
puts
thing
you
was I
over
improved.
1,000, right?
Yes, yes. This improved a top 128 for me. So it got me a net 55 points. And I mean, that's pretty crazy solid for, I don't know. I didn't expect to be earning 55 points over the weekend with a team that I kind of just said, all right, whatever, let's just try it.
Yeah. Hold up. That means that you and Justin are not going to be next to each other anymore like you have been for a while. Oh, yeah.
Right? I know. I've got him by 2 points. I've got him by
Mhm.
2 points, dude.
Let me beat.
Yeah. Actually, this weekend I've gotten bumped up to the same page as you, even though I'm 40 points behind you guys. Because I want a challenge. That was my big Pokemon accomplishment for the weekend.
Nice.
I played 10 games of the GC and decided I was done. I was bored.
Are those points in there as well already?
No, the GC point. Oh, the challenge points are, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, we know the GC ones. So that will bump me up past 1,000. And I don't know, everyone's telling me that, oh, Bruno, don't worry, we're coming to you. But yeah, I was, I passed 1,000 and everybody's telling me that I'm like locked for worlds and stuff now. And that like, I still have Portland and NAIC. And of course I'm going to give those my all. But I probably believe the people that are saying it. Plus I'm not even, like 1,000. I'm like 1,000 and change too. Like it's like I got a little bit more over than that. I actually didn't do the math on it, but regardless, like it's probably pretty chill. It's probably in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
You have an open major spot, so
I do.
that
1,000 should be safe. We think, right? I don't know, dude. I'm gonna wait until the season ends. Oh yeah, you got the sheet
I'm
here.
pulling this up. I had not seen this before. Until this week when Yotam tweeted it. But yeah, so Lit Potato Chip. I think Austin has been keeping track of this and keeping track of everyone's regional BFLs, GCs, BFLs, and that means the locals is what's left over, right? And so this is really cool because you can see how many regional people have left. And yeah, so right now I think they have 82 World's Advice from NA. And you can see a lot of the people below, just outside the bar, have 0 or 1 placement remaining, right? So if you're at 800 and you have 1 regional left, you can maybe expect to get to 950 if you have a good performance, right? So I think that the mid 900 range still seems about right for where the World's Bar is going to be, based on this.
I'm gonna say this idea out loud now because it's just fun, but I don't know if we'll actually go through with it or not. Something we can figure out maybe off the show. But Adi, I was thinking for NAIC, it would be fun to do like a. Do you remember? You weren't even playing back then.
Right.
Burns knows what I'm talking about.
Let me find the link.
The Nugget Bridge articles where they would like preview nationals with respect to like all the different ranges people had to get to like lock up their world's invites. It was actually really cool. Maybe a bit more feasible back in the day because it was a top 40 bar and there was a lot less competitors, I feel like. So maybe
I got a good
difficult.
example.
Hold up.
All
Also
right,
got pulled up.
Let's see.
This is 2015.
Yeah. This is
This is
Locked for
probably
Worlds. I see Wolf's name mentioned.
this is probably the most similar situation because this was like a top 40 American
Yes.
Worlds.
Pony Person, Unreality, Bravarious,
There's
Alan,
me.
dude, look at all these people that are still playing. Spurrific!
Yo, wait, Justin, did you make it?
I did make it.
You get a top 64
Yo,
finish?
were you really nervous Friday night?
I did get top 64. I was pretty nervous Friday night because I didn't make it.
Oh my god.
But I did make it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, I don't know. This was really cool to look at back in the day. It was just like looking at all these names and like it was funny like that. I don't know. I liked that they gave like a little title to each section, like
Yeah.
banking on resistance. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It just had a lot of like it's just nostalgia really.
It is. It is. I don't know exactly how to do it. It's how to predict. I'm curious
Right, me
how.
neither.
I'm curious how they did it on Nugget Bridge, but I'd love to use the same methodology because, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be nervous going into NAIC if you're on the bubble.
You can ask. You can ask the guy who wrote this article.
Who was it? Was it
Jimmy?
Gavin?
Gavin. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I will bug Gavin to see if he wants to try to do something that we can maybe get someone at home to like live update the standings for NAIC so we can keep track of how many how close you are to the bubble, how many points you need from day 2. The scenario that I'm very excited for is when if there's going to be at least someone who is like in the top 32 cut, and someone's going to be sitting there thinking, well, I need this person to lose in top 32 or get all the way to top 4, and anything in between knocks me out of Worlds. And I'm really looking forward to those as long as it's not me. It'd be fun to watch and cheer along as it happens.
I mean, that was me last year. I was in top 8 of NAIC, and if I won, I got the travel award plus round 1 bye.
Yes,
so I did not get it.
I know, but that's like, I mean, no offense, Burns. That's obviously a lot of stakes too. That's like,
that was like
the cherry on top type situation.
Yeah,
like this is like make or break. Like if you even get to go to Worlds or not. Of course, you could go as a spectator, but whatever.
Yeah, we can use your top 8 as an example then, if that's.
Yes, that's true, dude. I literally had to win one more at 2015 Nationals. We were just talking about that. Like I was if you go back to that one, like I'm not listed on this thing anywhere because I was nobody. But I was the one that everybody was like, "Oh God, if this guy wins one more, I don't get to go to Worlds." Like,
who was it? Who was number 40? Was it Jake Muller or?
I thought it was either Jake or I thought it was Jake. Your everybody's favorite commentator, Jake.
But Jake probably was rooting hard for you to lose.
Yes, dude. Yes. It's so funny. But
now it's really exciting because we have like a top 32 cut, which is like a lot more matches, which means there's going to be a lot more like variance, I guess.
Yes.
Like we're going to have multiple people with their Worlds invites on the line during top 32 cut.
Yep. No, I also think it's hilarious that Adi pointed out. It's funny that Adi pointed out that there's like a bubble where like, if somebody gets to like, top 16, top 8, they might get enough points to pass you, but if they just win one more BO3, they start to get into the exempt section.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do have the once you get the
auto
top
buys.
4.
And
so it's actually like a window. There's a window.
It's gonna be a very drama-filled top cut, regardless of
holy dude.
I'm just looking at some of the names that might be in that range, and I see Alberto Lara, Gavin Michaels might be in those ranges. Brian Yum might be in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some really good players down here who legitimately could get top 4, top 8 at Internationals, but certainly have the chance to top cut.
Right. And we will see one, I mean, including Nats, we're going to see like at least one more auto invite from Portland, unless somebody from another region comes and steals it somehow. I'm going to do my best not to let that happen.
If any Japanese players that miss Worlds and are watching Tub Takes,
I
think registration's still open.
That's true. I think Portland actually is still open.
NAIC registration's closed, so if you didn't make it,
you gotta go to Portland.
I'm sorry, but Portland is right there. It's on the West Coast. It's probably like a 9-hour flight from Japan.
Because
it's like
you got a good point.
So if you didn't do well this weekend, if you didn't make it to Worlds, didn't make it to main stage or live stage or whatever it's called, there's a last chance qualifier called Portland Regional.
So fun fact.
Oh my God.
There's an organization that tries to make Portland a destination visit for Japanese tourists. I just pulled up the Wikipedia page. And not only that,
did you know about this?
Yes, I knew about this. They have a mascot called Mr. Dude, as part of a campaign called the World of Oddno Troop. I don't know.
Mr.
Dude. I gotta find the Mr. Dude mascot. It's pretty ridiculous. Mr. Dude.
Okay, Mr. Dude.
the official mascot of Portland.
That's just like a ripoff of Sully from Monsters Inc. It's just the Monsters Inc.
That
guy.
does look like the Monsters Inc. guy. I mean, if
But
you're
with like a
so if
really
you're-
creepy face. That face is not chill.
I mean, if you didn't make it out of the JCS main stage and you want to go hang out with Mr. Dude and try to get a Worlds invite,
Mr. Dude.
go to Portland.
That's the way. That's the way. Um, but yeah, I think we still have a couple more top 32 teams from the GC to go through here. So yeah, after me. This one isn't exactly that, but I think all the other players mentioned in this tweet also used the same team as Shilyang. As far as I know, there was an Iron Valiant and a Groudon. And while there's not a lot to speak on this one, I do think that the point that they left out or they left in Groudon, and I do think Groudon's a fun enough talking point because it is genuinely pretty solid into the Tang team. I think if especially if you run like the bulk up set that we've seen some people use, bulk up would make it withstand the bear a little better. It's going to be immune to Miraidon's strongest electric moves. It still kind of has to worry about wide guard from Lunala, but I don't know. I kind of buy Groudon.
Yeah, as long as you can withstand Moongeist beams.
Run Shadow Claw like the good old days.
Hey, it's best of one. I do not believe in Groudon at all. I think that Mon is bad, man. I don't know. I feel like it definitely does better in closed team sheet where you don't know if it's going to be clicking bulk up or if it's going to be clicking Swords Dance or if it's just Assault Fest or if it's a Specs Eruption. Yeah, like it's one of those mons that because it's just not seeing a lot of play, people don't know what to expect when they do see one and they have to kind of play around a lot of options.
Somebody in chat said, "This is really fun."
It does look. I mean, it's one of the mods, and it's Groudon.
Dude, if they
Iron
reveal
Valiant.
one more Zation, I'm losing my
Iron
shit.
Valiant's kind of like a Zation, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Either that or Growth.
But yeah, otherwise not a ton to say about that one. So, who is next?
It's Carson.
Yes, y'all mind if a white boy speaks a little Chinese? Yeah, Carson. I mean, there's nothing to say. Carson is here. Although, okay, I've got one thing to say. Do you still have mine open?
Yeah.
Look at this. I want you to look at this window. 22nd. No, zoom in back on my number. I want you to. We need the decimal points.
17.55615. Yeah. 17.54. Okay, yeah. Like
there's actually 2 people between us. It's actually it's like 0.6. It's 0.6, but 2 people found themselves in that 0.6.
This is the window that everyone was aiming for, so
I guess so.
Because once you kind of get past the top 32 range, there's a lot less people in I think if you were at this rating and played another game and won, you would probably get into top 8.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So many people would get to this point in part.
Yep.
That's kind of how it was.
Me included. Me absolutely included.
All the grand challenges, not so much the global challenges, but
right.
Yeah. Next up, we got Bruno. I saw you in chat getting 33rd. Join the club, brother. I know how it feels. I remember when I got 33rd, 759. I was 30th, and I dropped 5 slots officially, and got that
was a global.
And that was a grand challenge. That was the first grand challenge.
Oh, it was a grand. It was a grand.
Yeah.
There were some people above you, maybe double carding or something.
Yeah, there were. This was the very first one, so a couple people did.
Either that or not championship point regions, right?
Yes. Yep.
Someone playing on a cart from China.
Yeah. So right. I mean, there's a small chance that 33rd could bump up to top 32. But who knows, right? I think at this point, most people kind of know what they're doing. They're not going to. But then again, we do regularly see people sign up who have no intention of earning championship points, just play their best and do very well. So who knows? Hope it works out. Obviously, it is always crazy to see how close these are, right? It's just I mean, literally, right? If you are at 33rd, it's less than a point almost certainly. And I know I was freaking out when I was closer to the bubble for a Worlds invite and thinking, man, is that 40 points between 32nd and 33rd gonna be the difference. And so I feel like it's I really feel like they got to change it so that there's more of a gradient, or less of a gradient, I guess, between top 32 and top 64, and more of a gradient between the top ranks, just to really reward people for pushing and not just stopping when they hit 30th or whatever.
Skip this one, by the way, Audie, and go to the next one because I feel like it's more relevant to where we're at. So we'll come back to Mons, but grab Ragos.
Okay.
Just because this is very much on topic with what we're talking about. Raghav, there, 32. God, dude. Oh yes, Jimmy, I'm glad that you mentioned it because we skipped past it, but I actually did want that to be a talking point today. Not just because we're not going to have a ton to talk about, but because it is genuinely kind of interesting.
Did Wolf and Aaron keep playing after Friday? Because they certainly weren't in this range before Friday or during Friday.
No.
They
go back
did,
to the Victory Road page.
I mean, they flew out to Seattle for the weekend, so they probably did better things than playing the GC all weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Although they didn't come and get lunch with me or anything. I don't know. I was like, I'm in town. When's Wolf gonna send me my my message? And yeah, wow.
What did you
it was really funny. I wanted to talk about the Wolf and Aaron stuff. So it's funny because scroll up a little bit, you can see that they like break down their runs like the stream, like the stream sets they do for regionals and stuff. I'm like, this is just GC games. Though you can see that Zhang went on a pretty good streak. He only lost one on the stream. I think Wolf lost maybe a couple more. He did have a Dialga though. But yeah, I think Aaron Zhang here ran Aaron Trailer's Milwaukee team, maybe verbatim, and it was funny when maybe I told this story on Tubtex last week, but Aaron was like, "Oh, I can't go to the locals this weekend because I've got friends coming into town." We were like, "Sure, sounds good." And then we saw this get posted, and we were like, "Oh, friends coming into town. I see."
I do want to say I did just check Pokemon Home, and the standings are not up on there yet, so we cannot check to see if Aaron or Wolf made it past.
No, we will never get to check it on Home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, there's no grand challenges on there.
Oh, they don't put the grand challenges on Home?
They don't, dude. Japan's not in this one. They say, I'm not doing the effort for that.
Man.
I don't care. I don't care about you guys.
What a great company we have that cares about our game.
It's so goofy. But, yeah. So, all right. Before we... Adi, last week we were talking about this. And it was like, we didn't know exactly how it was going to go down, but... from what I watched, like I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some of it. They were just like taking turns playing games and then like playing with each other. And I do think that like it genuinely has kind of interesting applications on the competition. We talked about it. Like me and ESM considered streaming the GC together once before we were like, we'd probably get in trouble for doing that. But like, this is like, are you just allowed to hang out and play the GC with a friend next to you? Like, to be fair, like it's not like we're all going to pretend that we don't know that there are people out there that play their games with other people in like a Discord call streaming their game to other people. Like that's, if you don't think that happens, you're crazy. Or you're just very like oblivious or whatever the word is. But that said, like they were just doing it like publicly. So I was just like, am I allowed to stream myself playing with ESM? And like if they say no, like can I just like point to this and be like, you guys showed it was okay?
They did like were like, I guess not too. I guess I wasn't like paying attention the whole time, but I did. They were like, "Oh, we're not playing for points,"
right?
So maybe they were like, "Oh, it's okay," but also like
maybe they were opted out, but they still beat people. You know?
Yeah, they still had to. You still have to like beat people that were playing for points. So like
I don't know. You play against more than just Aaron and Wolf, as far as people who are. Not even potentially not playing for points, right? You could run into other people who just signed up and don't have their accounts connected. So.
Yeah, but like the thing would be like they're helping each other play their games.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but you can't account for anyone, right? Like anyone could be doing that. It's impossible to enforce.
Yeah, I'm right,
but we talked about that for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying like, is it
publicly allowed?
It's okay for them to be publicly doing it on the like official stream, like. playing against people. That
Obviously,
are,
it's okay for them to be doing it publicly on the official
Yeah.
stream, but like, is it like they are the exception? Like they are under Pokemon's umbrella, so like whatever. I also do think that it would be very easy, like, for them to take Wolf and Aaron out of the standings.
Right.
Like that part. But like again, the impact on the people that they actually played is still there. Again, just one game. I mean, we're not gonna like cry about it, but it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. My inclination would be that you can play and chat with people, and they're not going to like disqualify you or anything. But no one, I don't know if anyone's ever actually tried it, so I don't have any. I don't know.
Right.
Right. But like, I agree. Like even
we covered this last.
even the last GC that I played in, and I got, I think, 39th place overall. I was sitting in a hotel room and in Atlanta playing, and like like other people were watching me and occasionally giving me feedback. Right. Like it was just like a communal activity. For what it's worth, that one did not count to my Murto Worlds invite at all because I already had it. Didn't overwrite another top 64 finish. But
right.
Yeah, but like of course, like people do that all the time.
There's
People
also
are gonna be sitting in
streams,
hotel rooms. They're gonna be streaming. Yeah. They are going to be
like
in
Twitch
Discord
chat
calls,
and way in again.
just like getting ghosted more egregiously. And there's no way to enforce that. And I think that it'd be very silly to then enforce it on people who are just playing on stream with another friend.
Mm-hmm. Did Ashton and Luca play together once on a stream before? I actually don't remember that. Maybe they did.
I don't know.
It's just super funny. It's a weird little gray area, and again, it's not that serious. I get it.
Yeah,
but also it's a dry
like the
week.
Friday
so I want
games
to talk
aren't.
about it.
Also, like you can avoid playing during that time period if you really wanted. You want to dodge.
Yes, that's true.
Or you could queue into
You
them.
also could have.
Yeah, and snipe them.
I think they only had 30 seconds of delay too. It's like I don't know.
I mean, you definitely would have gotten to see their backmons before they reveal them.
Right.
If you wanted to do that, but I don't know.
Anyways, I think. Do you have more to add about this conversation? You get to watch the stream at all?
I don't think anything else about the Wolf Aaron stuff.
It was kind of
fun. Go ahead.
They were answering like questions in the chat like in between games, so it was like definitely an interesting watch. It was a lot more, more than just I'm playing these games.
Mm-hmm. It was a good stream. It was a good content thing.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say about it isn't really about the stream itself, but about like how the online competitions work. You can't actually register anymore while they're going on. Mm-hmm. So like you can't be like, they're streaming, someone comes in like, "Oh, I'm interested in, playing this with you guys," but you can't register because the game shuts off registration or whatever now.
Yeah. Audie was saying the same last week. It's like a bit of a bummer, especially with this being the last one of the season. Like they can't even be like, "Oh, I'll get in the next one." Like I don't know, when is the next one?
Hopefully not on Scarlet and Violet.
So true.
We'll be learning all about our champions, global challenges, and
dude, I actually didn't get any bad like DCs and stuff, though I'm pretty careful about it. I restart my system pretty often and use that like as a good way to like take a break and pace myself. But I wanted to play a couple of games before dinner on Saturday. I don't remember which day. And I got 5 games in 30 minutes because I played one game, they DC, I get the win. I play another game against standard like the Zine CSR Zama team. Play another game after that, they DC again, and I get the win. Play another game, and then I play against the CSR Zama team. They only wanted me to play against the Zine team for this like 30-minute window, and then I think I got one more game in after that. But it was like I got 5 wins in the span of like 30 minutes because 2 of them were just DC wins for myself, and I was like, all right, cool, I guess I'll take it. This system's so bad, man.
All right. Well, we got a couple more teams that we could talk about. First off, we have Marco, who said top 32 again, using just regular CSR Zama. I really thought I'd see more of that in the GC, because CSR is so unpredictable. and it's really hard to play around all of its moves. But I also think that it's so hard to maneuver a lot of these CSR teams into Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Ursaluna, Wideguard, Lunala, that I just feel like it wasn't as common as maybe you'd expect it to be.
I watched his stream too. It was pretty funny. He did every loss he would do 15 push-ups.
Yep.
So,
Yep. That I thought that was a good bit, and yeah, I don't know why. I think he just didn't want to wait for the results page to post his team, but his team should be out there considering he streamed with it. I think he said it was just standard stuff, so probably nothing that interesting to go digging for. Shadow Rider Zama thrilling. Speaking of Shadow Rider Zama thrilling, I'm guessing that's probably what Mont was using. You know, he loves fucking boring Shadow Rider stuff, but who knows? It could have been something else. But congrats to Mont on the strong finish. It was funny. I was talking with him about where I stopped, and then because I passed him, he was starting to get worried about if he was going to make it to top 32 or not. He's like, I'm not going to make it. I queued up, so he queued up one more, and he did lock in and win it, and it netted him 15th. So that's nice. Not only earned him like 10 extra points on top 32, but also confirm top 32, because it would be a lot worse if he got top 64, of course, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's also, I think he's right on the bubble too. From when we checked last time. Yeah. So he that definitely could be the difference for him. That 50 points. Even
I
the
can't
10
remember
points
what
could be
he's
the difference.
improving or anything like that. I don't know exactly how much he netted from this one, if it was a blank slate or if it was also like a top 128 like me or something like that. But either way, we're looking at like probably plus 60-ish or more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a really good run. A lot of people I think, I saw a lot of people in NA at least who were, and in EU too. I think MDB mentioned a couple people who were on the fence and now are feeling a little more secure about their Worlds invites. So that is again, I am really enjoying keeping track of all of this as the season goes down. I think it's a really fun byproduct of this new system.
It's yeah, I mean it's stressful, but it is I get it. Like it's also like it is entertaining. Like I imagine as like a spectator, if you got, I mean, you obviously have stake in the game, Audie, but like even people with stake in the game, it is just going to be fun to like see who will be the people, like who is going to be number 80 whatever that doesn't actually make it, the one, and then the person who is the last one to make it. Like holy, you know.
Yep. No, I was.
I think it might. Do you think it comes down to the last match? NAIC. I think it genuinely does.
Well, it would have to come down to a top 8 match.
It'd be a top 8 match, yeah.
No, sorry, you're right. That's what you're right. You're right about that part.
Like I said, there's enough really good players who are like close to the edge that I could definitely see one of them making it to top 8. But more than that, it will almost always come down to a top 8 match, because if someone in the top 75 is playing exactly for an auto worlds invite, then they will potentially knock someone back into the top 75, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like NA versus like if like there's an out of region player and they're playing someone against NA in top 8, then it's, somebody is going to get, somebody like from either region is going to get in, right?
Right. An NA versus EU match in top 8, right, will decide like which
like,
area gets an extra slot. Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
And
and hopefully we're gonna know exactly who is being impacted too, right? So we can all huddle around them and they can be the ones who are cheering.
Dude, and we got to do our draft.
Oh yeah.
I have even more reasons to root for people.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. But we also have, I guess, unless you guys had anything else we want to talk about for the global challenge, we've also got another best of 1 tournament to talk about.
Grand challenge.
Excuse me. Let's go. All right. So we have the Japan National Championships. Like I said, this is the second or fifth part of the this is the link to the main event. Okay.
Oh, my bad. Maybe I.
So if you thought that if you thought NAIC is going to be stressful for people, imagine playing a 20-game best of 1 tournament to decide whether you go to Worlds or not.
Yeah. So that's what happened this weekend for the players in Japan. They had like 6 hours. We talked about it last week, and I'm surprised we actually have a lot of the teams. But yeah, they had 20 matches, and they had to get top 64 to secure themselves maximum, right? 20 matches maximum.
No, 10 minimum.
Oh, 10 minimum. Yeah.
You had to play 10 minimum. Yeah.
And the top 64 players made it to the main stage at Japan Nationals. The top 64 players also earned themselves an invite to the World Championships. Um, and everyone else is shit out of luck. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's one Japanese player who earned a World's invite at EUIC, right? I don't know if they qualified through this as well, if that invite would pass down.
Right. Right.
I think
I haven't heard anything about them.
B Trickroom Z
Oh, he
made
does.
qualify, or like, yeah, he's right there on the and so I don't, if his doesn't pass down, then I assume the other guys won't pass down either.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. Um, but yeah, Japan Nationals is going to be. I'm gonna stop streaming again because it's lagging again. But yeah, this is of course the 64 players who qualified for Japan Nationals. We do have some teams from the players who opted to hand them out. Of course, I think a lot of players are going to keep their team hidden because Japan Nationals is, I think, also best of one closed team sheet until top 8. At least that's what it was last year. So,
Yeah.
So let's actually start from the top here because not only did they win with something kind of fun, I mean, they have like Treads on a non-ride-on team. Treads is just hanging out. But also they won with like Kyogre, Cali Ice, not something you really expect. And I think they went a little bit too hard as far as I see. Like everybody else like figured out the range that they were supposed to stop at. It was like just across 1600. They stopped at 1643. Like at that point you're just showboating. Like what? You don't get anything for winning this one. You don't get anything for first. What are we doing here?
How many games did they play? Do we know?
Let's see. I think if you click their name, it should take you to the post. No, I think they said they did
No,
something.
if you
It worked out.
no, if you scroll down, they played 10 games and I guess they went 10-0.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they just played the minimum, but they were just goated.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Respect then.
damn.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So that's
Perfect run.
That is a also a pretty unique looking team. Like I said, we just see Kyogre do a little better in these closed team sheets, but yeah, this is not a style of Kyogre team that I've really seen a lot of leading into this. And Iron Treads certainly. I think Japan really likes Iron Treads for whatever reason. But yeah, doing really well in this tournament as well, even on a non-Maridon team.
Yeah, that I mean, it's like I guess it's the tech for dealing with it, but yeah. Otherwise, it's just kind of like a boring balance team. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this was like somewhat up your alley, Burns. If you ever wanted to use Kyogre, I don't know. I don't want to use Kyogre.
It's got Instant Amoonguss Cali Ice, so that's enough for me.
That's enough. I agree.
I'm
I
sold.
agree.
I'm sold.
B9 on the second one, still the GOAT of best of one CTS. Love that guy.
Yeah.
And more of it, dude. And that's a fish.
That's a fish.
Vasculation,
You got
dude.
Ryosuke Kosuke at third. He got. It's been almost 12 years now since he got second at Worlds, so he's still at it.
Yeah.
He's the guy that swaggered out Aaron Zeng,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and Sadrian.
Hell yeah. I would love to not that I'm anti Aaron, but like that match has like so much infamy surrounding it, you know?
He'll be there. He'll be there at Worlds. We'll see if he can. Grimmsnarl will get swagger, I think, right? So
Right. I would not be surprised if he got a picture with Aaron at Worlds. Again, that would be fun.
I'm sure they will.
Kyogre again, dude. What's up with this fish?
Like I said, I think it's really good in closed team sheet. People don't know what set to expect. It just can do a lot of different things. And I mean, you see it here in first, third, fourth, sixth, seventh place, ninth place, right? It's just all Kyogre all the way down.
Yeah, what's funny is we haven't even come across the. Okay, well, no, sorry, that's not a Kyogre team. Never mind. We haven't come across the Arubega build that they all kind of landed on, which is not actually anything crazy brand new. But I guess let's go to it while we're talking about it. Zine. Go to Zine's team. Let's see if Zine shares any information here. Not really. One of them put it out there, and it's probably in the standing somewhere around here. But basically, they used Leech Seed Ice Rider over Lunala on the Tang team. And then there were some other minor differences here and there. Basically, like what else was it? The Urshifu was Mystic Water with U-turn, which I know that they've tested stuff like that back in Reg G. I'm not seeing.
I've got the pace
the
pulled
actual.
up. They actually.
Oh, you found it. Okay.
I found it. Not only that, but they actually have the EV spread too. So this is one of the very few teams that you can't steal, if you want to steal it. But yeah, like you said, Leech Seed, Terra Water, Cali Ice. That's something that we seen pop up a little more here and there with leftovers. I think Darsh ran that to get top 8 at Milwaukee Regionals. Is the first time I've seen that. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, like you said, it's pretty much the same team as the Tang team, with some item changes and whatnot. So Zine actually reached out to me about my team from Milwaukee, saying that he was considering using it at Japan Nationals, and I told him it was bad. So he didn't use it, and good for him.
Dang, Audi could have influenced. Well, he did influence the Japanese meta, but for good, I guess. Said, don't do that.
I answered his questions, but I do think that the bad matchup for my team was the Lunala team, right? And so I felt like that was going to be common. I didn't think that it would be a great call. But yeah, no, it's cool to see him. Clearly, he had a lot of the same ideas with Grim, Miraidon, Ursaluna, and put his own twist on it, which is cool to see. And again, have the pace. So if you want to use it, you can just steal this team, which is cool. We don't normally get to steal teams from this stage of the tournament. And while we're here,
right,
I see that Utah, who is the current world's runner-up, apparently posted his team as well.
Yeah, he has a really long team report. That's pretty interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, was it long?
It is quite long. I'm scrolling through it right now.
Yeah.
But the pace is at the bottom. Let's go. That's all we want.
The pace is at the bottom. Also, it was linked underneath one of the tweets, and this is where I get to yell because I did know this one was public. Why are we running Assault Vest on the Rhyperior? Like, is it Eviolite? So I actually went and looked at this up earlier. Let's do a. Sorry, both of you guys don't look. Have you guys looked or no?
Looked at what?
The difference between Rhyperior and Rhydon stats.
I think I know the difference. A couple of the differences already.
All right. Here's a pop quiz. HP. What's the difference?
I've already checked. Sorry.
You already checked. Wow. I think it's supposed to check. I think it's 140 versus 110.
No, it's 115 versus 110.
115 versus 110. I knew the Rhydon stats.
The attack is also just 10 points.
It's just 10 points.
The defense is also just 10 points. Special attack is also just 10 points. It's actually just 10 points everywhere.
This Pokemon gets 0 stats when it evolves. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that way. And special defense goes up by 10 points. And so basically, you would run Assault Vest if you wanted to take special attacks better, because we were talking about a 10 HP difference and a 10 SPDF difference. And I guess also if you wanted to hit harder. Physically, Rhydon would be much tankier. And they have the same speed stat. I still feel like it should have been Rhydon. But maybe the team report tells why it's not Rhydon, and maybe why it's Rhyperior.
Maybe he's Solid Rock. Wait, no,
he's not. Oh, that would be very funny.
The point is to run that.
But it's close team.
True.
They're never going to see it coming.
Yes. And the moves on it are pretty fun too. Like counter, dude. Counter is based, especially in closed team sheet. Like, it's got a big HP stat.
Maybe he wanted to have all the attacks on it because it had like crunch. You know.
Wait, counter is crazy. You think this lives a Zama body press and counters back?
Oh, counter.
Dude, easy. It definitely does.
It lives a glacial in, surely, right? Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh god, that sounds vile. Diabolical even. Dude. Counter does more damage with lower defense, so true.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna scroll through real quick. I see a Salazzle up in 6th place. We don't have a
Yeah,
team.
dude, what was up with that? I had to double check its speed because I was like, is this thing faster than like Zamazenta? And yeah, if they're not like Jolly or something, like yeah, it'll be faster than the Zamazenta. So I'm like, all right, I'm down with that. You got like fake out encore type shenanigans if you want, overheat if you just want to damage it. Like, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. You can run the old fling set where you fling a King's Rock and get double fake out. Sometimes that's all you need.
There's no way that works, Adi. Not because the strategy is bad, but because like this thing's speed stat is like slow compared
it's not
to
fast
everything
enough.
else.
Yeah, damn. That's
Well,
probably true.
It's
Yeah,
117. It's
Trick
117.
comes up.
Oh, okay. When you get it into the trick room, yeah. Fake out trick room, and then you fling in the trick room to keep the fast thing still not moving, like the Miraidon or whatever. Genius.
Moving on to 19th, I see another Basque Legion. Surprise, surprise. Is this guy secretly good?
Mm-hmm.
Should we be running Basque Legion?
Wait, hold on. You're saying that I gotta see this for myself. Is it the same team or different?
I thought it was a different. Yeah, it's a different. Where's the? Yeah, it's a different team. One mon different.
Oh, okay, one mon.
Yeah.
Decent chance they work together then. We'll see. Yeah, perhaps, but yeah, dude, Bass. I mean, decent into Shadow Rider, decent into Lunala. But I don't know. By the way, we're all trying to work through this, metagame that the Tangs have thrust upon us with their really cool, strong team. And some people were like, well, if they're clicking wide guard, I want to use feint to break the wide guard. And it's like, well, that doesn't really work if, they Terra Ghost their bear, and Lunala is also a ghost type. You can't feint them. So I was like, is there other ways we can break wide guard? And I landed upon Phantom Force. It turns out that Phantom Force doesn't just break protect, it also does break wide guard. And so I was trying to look at like Pokemon that would run like Power Herb Phantom Force just to break wide guard on Lunala.
Yo, lead Basque Legion Kyogre, and they click wide guard. You click Power Herb Phantom Force Water Spout.
Dude.
I
No,
bet
Ani, you
you
should have said
that.
that. We need to save that for the next GC.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. that might actually be what they ran.
It would work.
Also,
you could run with Scarf.
You break Shadow Shield too,
Yeah. Just like for damage reduction, or getting rid of that. Yeah.
So, and then Water Spout kills. That's crazy.
Power Phantom Force would be base.
You can just hit through any protect too. Yeah, that's crazy. They can't. They can't protect on your Scarf Water Spout. What are they supposed to do?
No, it doesn't mean we're supposed to use Shadow Force Nerdum now. Hold on.
No,
the next GC in 6 months. Don't tell anybody, Sea-Dog.
Because Giratina's not fast enough, right? Because this is a Swift Swim guy. So your Swift Swim Phantom Force with Power Herb, and then you have Water Spout or Scarf Water Spout.
Maybe this is a stream team at some point. Maybe we'll play.
We did it.
We'll put it together. Play some ladder with it.
I'm convinced. Has anyone posted like a Basque item?
No, I haven't seen it.
No,
That's definitely what it is.
You're convinced?
I'm convinced.
That would be hype. That would be so hype. Yeah, I don't know if any of these have posted info on their stuff.
We got the Rayquaza Lunala team that qualified. And we have their open team sheet.
Groudon did also get like 11th, dude. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, wait, where's the one you're talking about? Oh yes, here we go. 29th. Upper half, baby.
Yeah. Don't ask me why it's a Rayquaza. But it sure is a Rayquaza.
Next to you. It's got U-turn, dude.
It beats the Basque Legions.
I'm also mad because it doesn't even have e-speed,
doesn't
dude.
have
E-speed's
e-speed.
like goated. And you're AV, and you're not even gonna run e-speed.
Well, yeah, you've got Dragon's Ascent, U-turn. Who wants to guess the other flying move?
Right?
Why?
I don't know. Like I don't read Japanese.
Fly doesn't break protect burns. Let's not get carried away.
Wait, what's the item?
Assault vest.
It's AV. It's
So it has
assault
to
vest
be
on it.
it's not hurricane, right?
Oh, it is actually. It is. I remember John mentioning this when we linked it originally. He was like, "I think that's just raw hurricane."
Oh, so
It-
you just want to always have 70% accurate hurricane.
Always.
That's crazy.
Dude, well, maybe not if you play against Chef's team. He has like a Weezing Kyogre team, I think. So if the Weezing comes in and turns off your airlock, but the rain's
Exactly.
out. Yes.
Is the shifter guy the same guy that used Shiftry to get to the stage?
I'm not actually sure, but I do think that it's incredibly based because you usually find Shiftry on, like, Tailwind teams, and this doesn't seem to have Tailwind of its own. I mean, I think
Shiftry
Shiftry
learns
learns Tailwind, so
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe it's just doing it itself. Like, fine, I'll do it myself. Like, I don't know, man.
Probably.
Sometimes you want a Whimsicott that beats Shadow Rider, right?
It's so funny because like Shiftry isn't even like it is like the weirdest Pokemon on the team, but like King Gambit is not seeing play anymore. So it's just hilarious that guy's also a bit of a weird pick right now. I did see people suggesting that it could be good into the Tang team. Obviously, the Ursaluna matchup could be a little bit scary, but it is a Pokemon that hits Terra Fairy Lunala pre and post Terra. So
I
that's
definitely
kinda
thought you were talking about Shiftry, which does actually cook most of the team.
no. Wait, does or doesn't? You said
it hits Lunala, it hits Ursaluna. What else do you want? It can Leaf Blade crit through screens.
what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. Let's see. Anything else? Um, anything else spicy? Elizabeth did make it through.
Shoma Honami.
Don't ask him what the count was.
2015 world champion made it.
Yes. Yeah, that is hype. Vieira used. It's funny because like Vieira used like Joe's team that we've been seeing, but got rid of the Iron Hands for Rillaboom, which is like, okay, well, I guess we could run double terrain. We did it back in the past with the Tapus, but like Iron Hands and Miraidon kind of like have natural synergy, whereas Miraidon and Rillaboom have natural anti-synergy. It's goofy.
64th place had a Toxapex on it with a Mental Herb. Is that the item?
X, yo.
Let's
have a look. It must be. Maybe they took inspiration from ESM and ran that set. Also, this is Miraidon Rillaboom again. Maybe Miraidon Rillaboom is just the way.
Yeah.
This is our NAIC team. I'm convinced.
It might be. Running back.
I see no flaws, dude.
Arubega not getting through the last 2 years has to be a crime. I wish we had a list of players who made it through and didn't make it through, at least notable players, because I did
post a lot of tweets of players who did not make it. Posting.
It was crazy. I mean, I saw Choppa's tweet as well. That was just like, man, my whole timeline is just like doom posting, and like it was like that. All the like strong Japanese players I follow were just like, it's fucking over. It's over. It's over. I'm like, jeez, man.
Yeah.
I mean, now would be a good time to segue into the solution.
Yeah.
Adi. Go ahead and pull up the solution.
The solution.
Oh
the solution.
Adi's gonna tell us all about the exact solution.
No, not Adi.
Not my solution.
Don't worry.
Robbie has a solution that's much better than my solution, apparently. Alex, you want to defend this? You want to defend this take?
Do I have to be the one to defend it? I mean, I will.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So basically, Robbie came and I was the one that wanted to bring it up because I felt like it was getting too much traction and like we're not here to like dunk on Robbie because like I think we're just like spitballing. Everybody's
What is the
spitballing.
take for
Like,
anyone
that's
who's
where
just
you're allowed to
listening
post
and not watching?
The
yeah,
take,
yeah, of course. So the take is basically okay. Well, having so few games decide whether or not you move on for Worlds um, is not like there's just not enough games being played, and so we should make it actually like Battle Stadium. Like the Battle Stadium season should be how they decide how people get to Worlds. Like whoever's the top at the end of the season gets like they'll have some kind of threshold, whatever. Top X get get to move on to the next stage in Japan's qualifier. And I don't know. I need to get Jimmy, if you're listening, I need to bring back the VGC boomers who played the GCs back then. They were called ICs, International Challenges, right? And there used to be no game limit on the weekend uh, for the international challenges. And it's not exactly that is what Robbie's calling for because this would be over the course of the month. But basically, this is just whoever plays the most. I don't know, Adi, you can go ahead.
No, I'm passing it over to Justin because I know Duel Links had a similar system for their World Championships qualifiers.
I mean, they've always had it. It's just you have to play nonstop. Like if you're like, yeah, it's over the course of a weekend. Like, I think you have to play nonstop because if you ever like, I'll just skip the first day or whatever. You're not gonna have enough time to catch up to everyone else. And like, I think Battle Stadium, it's kind of different because you can be like, okay, you can kind of get up close in range. And then once it gets towards the end of the month, you're like, okay, I'm gonna start grinding. But it's the thing is like you just have to play so many games. And honestly, I feel like if we had a system like that, people would be spamming like a lot more games than people currently play for like no rewards, right? It would look drastic. The standings would look drastically different if there was something on the line. And I think like I think it would be ridiculous. I mean, and the other, yeah, the other thing is, like, we're not always picking, the champions aren't always the best players, right? Because we every tournament we go to a single elimination stage or whatever because we're trying to like it's supposed to be entertaining. We're supposed to like see what's I don't know. Like if we wanted to play like perfect systems, we'd have Luca Paz would be the regional champion after however like he went 12-0 or whatever in Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I get second place, right? That's what happened to that regional.
Yeah,
cool. I like this.
Yeah,
I'm sold. Let's do it.
So like that, it's not really the point of we're not just spamming games and whoever like does the best. We're there has to be like a playoff or whatever, and
right.
Maybe we don't need like this this main stage was basically a playoff pretty much, but maybe it doesn't need to be as drastic as you only get 20 games, 20 best of 1 games to decide if you move on or not. But you have to say, okay, at this point we're going to have like a make or break stage of the tournament. So, maybe like the main stage or whatever is not the right way to do it, but I think at some point you have to, say, okay, we're eliminating players at like win or go home or whatever.
Yeah. I with respect to Robbie's take, this is the most like high schooler take imaginable. Like not like high schooler with unlimited free time. Yeah, of course you want it to be who can play the most games over the course of a month. I'm sorry, I can't compete. I can't do that. I'm never gonna do that. That's awful. The GCs are like a weekend of like joblessness where you just like are I legitimately you're spending what 12 hours the weekend. That's like half your weekend. playing the GC, and that's like fine. That's like the upper limit of acceptable to me. I can't imagine doing this and having a weekend where like this is the last weekend before the ladder ends and the amount you got to play to stay near the top of that. With respect to the better systems, I also had a tweet that caught that started some discussion. And I'll read Pearl's tweet out first because I saw this on my timeline and I had to respond. Pearl said, I know this is a topic that gets brought up every year, but it's heartbreaking to see how many good Asian players are gatekept from competing at Worlds over a system that is honestly plain bullshit. GCs already feel bad enough. Imagine doing it twice with everything on the line. And I will say before because this is kind of talking about all Asian players, the system for APAC outside of Japan is very different and does suck. I will definitely say that. I think the Japanese circuit is a little fairer because they have 64 Worlds invites. But what I said in response was that the Japanese system has flaws, but it has one really nice perk to it, which is that anyone can compete for a Worlds invite. Doesn't matter how much time you have. You really need to spend potentially 2 weekends to earn a Worlds invite, and you can find that time no matter what you're working as, no matter what you're doing. And also, it's not like as all-consuming as competing in the circuit right now is, where you have to go to 5 tournaments a year, if not 6 or 7 majors in a year, like most players do. You have to go to locals. You have to play in GCs. You have to play in a whole lot of tournaments. It takes a long time to earn a Worlds invite. I do not want to think about the amount of hours I spent like prepping and playing at tournaments to earn a Worlds invite this year. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of money. So I was doing the math, and it's probably like total. I probably spent $3,000 give or take on traveling to tournaments if you include the tournaments that are coming up, and if you include actually going to the World Championships. I don't think that's an unusual number. That's a lot of money to spend on going to tournaments. And in Japan, that isn't really a concern because you just play online for a weekend. You get top 120, you play online for another weekend, you get top 64, and then you can go to the one in-person tournament that is really high stakes. And that is like less fun for sure than our circuit. I really do love going to events, but it also is so much more equitable that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, can compete. And that actually, I think, means that more good players get to go to Worlds, because it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone has a chance to compete and go to Worlds, and it just so happens there is that much talent that there are more than 64 players deserving of a Worlds invite from Japan, and some of those players are going to be left out. But for every like really big name that gets left out, another upstart potentially is getting in, and deservedly so. Right. So that's my take on this. I think that there's probably a middle ground where I really think that the best case scenario would be like Japanese players having the second stage that we just saw be a in-person event, being the Big Japan Nationals. They can fit 500 people, 480 players in a venue, and do one big Swiss event where the top 64 get a Worlds invite. That would be really exciting, and that'd be way more fair, I think, overall. But yeah, just in general, having only one in-person event and having a way to qualify for a Worlds invite by only going to one in-person event is probably not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. The I guess the first, the first, level of the qualifiers being online is also good, because I'm sure in Japan they, like, if they did in-person tournaments, the demand would be incredible, and there would be so many players getting left out. Like, even here we have people, missing NAIC registration. So I think online tournaments are good in that regard. I think really the most ideal solution is just that Pokemon Champions will have a better like infrastructure for competitive, to where we can play like potentially more competitive formats. Like, maybe it'll have, a way to facilitate best of 3 through these online tournaments, or like be able to run like Swiss rounds in game. So I think that would be the most ideal. I I don't know how much they care on on their side of things about, what the competitive, architecture is like. But we can really only hope that they'll be willing to provide more support for like online tournaments.
champions. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm full on the copium. I've
When's
been
it
telling
coming again,
people.
Burns? What's the timeline again?
All right. The super copium timeline is that we get Legends ZA in September because we have to have the new megas before we get champions because they showed off megas and champions. And then we get champions in October. And then we have the first tournament on champions, LAIC in November. See you then, you know.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm in. I'm ready to start taking the copium.
All right. Well, with that, until Pokemon, I think I also agree for what it's worth. I think a lot of this will be solved with Pokemon Champions. That'll hopefully give us, if not a, I would be shocked if there wasn't a more, if there wasn't a champion specific way to qualify for the World Championships. Because there's obviously going to be a ton of very talented players from, whenever you have a mobile game, you end up with a ton of talented players from China and India competing in these mobile games that will probably want a chance to qualify for the World Championships as well as they can't right now. That's also like genuinely part of it. Is I think we're going to have a champion specific way of qualifying for Worlds if that's not the primary way of qualifying for Worlds. All right, and then
Dude, I'm still caught up with this power of Basket Legion idea, dude. It's so funny.
it's pretty cool. We should build it. We should ladder with it at some point. I think it'd be fun. I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw that Nash did post the start of the list for Korean nationals, and I think that the top 32 players qualify for the in-person stage. I believe. I don't know how many Worlds invites they get. Maybe Nash can remind us. But yeah, so we got a few names. I recognize a lot of these names. Obviously, Crystal, inventor of Crystal Rain. I see Nikki, who's another well-known player. I see Sejin making it. Suyu, VGC played an NPA this year. I recognize their name from that. So a decent number of stronger Korean players. And I think that, from what I've heard, it's not all that difficult to qualify for Korean nationals, but I might be mistaken about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how big the player base is there.
Right.
I also don't know how big the original tournament was, because I think you had to qualify for this tournament through the global challenges, right? And I don't know how many people qualified for that either. But yeah, Nash says I'm gathering stuff to provide you guys with content next week, so I guess we can hold off until then and talk about it a little more in depth when we have the full results.
Sounds good. So next up, Adi, we did have a quick revisit to the Milwaukee teams because there was so much to talk about that we really didn't get through all of it. And so I guess I just wanted to check if there was any teams that we needed to double back and highlight before we, finally put that tournament to rest. We'd had a break weekend with these online tournaments that, there's not as many results to talk about yet, but we will have plenty of regionals to look at next week.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I guess we'll talk about those at the very end here in the preview section. But
yeah, well, I can start pulling up teams from Milwaukee. I do want to. So the last thing I want to do that we didn't. I guess we have a lot of time. We have not actually talked that much. For the 3 regionals that are happening this weekend. I want to go over to Latin America and Oceania and see who is the on the bubble for a Worlds invite as they have their last tournaments of the year. But first, we're going to go through a few of the teams from Milwaukee Regional, starting with, I think we've covered most of the top 6. So the last 2 in top 8 that are both more interesting teams, maybe more or less interesting teams, is Jonathan Quiones, who used the Pagos Calric Shadow, like a pretty standard Pagos Calric Shadow team. But I think we mentioned this at the end of last episode. This team had one of the higher win rates overall at the tournament. Pagos CSR, way higher than I think any of the other Calric Shadow variants. And this is just a very standard version of it. But I'm curious what you guys think about the Pagos CSR team.
I should link you a plugin so that you can get the sprites. By the way, but anyways, Triple Grass. I do know. Apparently, this is a difficult one for the Tang team. They don't like Calm Mind. They don't like Amoonguss that can reset electric terrain. Notably, the Tang team has exactly one Protect, and it's on Ursaluna, and that's one of the only Pokemon that will be immune to Spore once the electric terrain is lifted. So, yeah, it can definitely be a bit of a dicey one. I think Lucapaz still managed to beat it in top 8, but it's a team that looks very European, if we're being completely honest. So I would not be surprised to see more of that this weekend in Utrecht. Utrecht. Utrecht.
Utrecht.
Don't make me do this again.
Oh no.
Utrecht.
No, I think Turtle's really good. Honestly, like it's at least better than people are giving it credit for. I think a well played Calm Mind Turtle is really hard to like remove if you don't have like Koraidon or Zamazenta.
Mm-hmm.
And Shadow Rider provides really good, cover like anti coverage, I guess, to deal with things that beat Turtle. And like
Yeah.
even Turtles like in like Reg G, it was hard. Even like it was like a lot of restricteds were not doing enough damage into it. Like Miraidon, if you get a Calm Mind up, it's not doing much. It can remove the
Right.
terrain. Lunala, obviously, it can't. You can wide guard if they Terra, but you can't really offensively deal with it. So it kind of can set up in your face if Lunala's on the field. And the Tang team really relies a lot on Ursaluna to deal with it. So, obviously a lot of those like Amoonguss Rillaboom teams like can aggressively target down Ursaluna, and Turtle can, stay on the field and do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect to see that do well in upcoming regionals. Not just like the Europe regional, but tournaments afterwards.
Right,
I think
right.
we'll keep seeing it pop up.
It is boring as shit. I stand by it.
I agree. I think Lorcy played a version of this as well. I think made day 2. Yeah, didn't make top cut. And I've heard that people like someone was telling me they lost to Lorcy, even though Lorcy couldn't win because he just like took it to time and won the 1v1 Turtle. Which is like I guess that's just like a legitimate win condition with this team is you can't take a KO, but you can go to time. And I can't do that. I mean, even my games against it, I played 2 games against it, and I got the 3-minute warning in both of our games. And it's like, God, I just do not think I can do that for 11 rounds. That's just too much.
Yep. The other team in top 8 that we didn't cover yet, Darsh, I think did put out a team report today on it, and while a lot of this stuff is like similar to the Joe team from the previous format, Joe's team didn't have a leftover Leech Seed Cali Ice, and it does seem like that is like just kind of picking up right now, and I don't just mean from Darsh's finish here. It seems like a lot of players were using it in the global challenge the grand challenge. Now I did it, Adi, but anyways, the grand challenge, and I think over in Japan as well. All using this Leech Seed Cali Ice, and I'll be honest, I still don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I also don't get it.
We still will have to see how well it can do in best of 3, or mainly in OTS, right? Because
I actually only. Sorry, we're to cut you off, but Adi, I went to
Ice, like do well in one of the grand challenges, or
sorry.
Challenge.
Say again, Burns.
We had Leech Seed Cali Ice do well in like a Reg G GC, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Elizabeth, right? I think was the one using it. Yeah. But yeah, Adi, I went and watched the beginning of Darsh's team report till he talked about Cali Ice. And I was listening like on 1.5 between coaching sessions, so I wasn't listening close enough. But he just talked about why Cali Ice and Miraidon are good together and didn't mention Leech Seed at all in that section. I'm sure he covers it later. I'm sure he absolutely covers it later. I just didn't have time to watch the full thing, so I was like, man, I was hoping it was in the Cali Ice section and why we picked Cali Ice. But it's just talked about how it's a bolt beam speed sandwich because it gives the team speed control, and ice is good for dealing with electric type attacks or something, whatever. But
Can you explain that more?
no, yes, but no.
Man, okay. He did the thing where he did 28 minutes of about the team and then 40 minutes about his tournament run, which I guess I think I did less than that, which is normally what I try to do.
Nah, dude, you're supposed to do more. It's supposed to be 4 hours of just tournament run.
Talk about each round when it's like when you just did well and you're like excited to talk about it. But yeah, I also think that if you're gonna do a team report, you gotta release the spreads. You can't release a team report without the spreads. What's the point? Hello? Oh God. YouTube. Why did I open YouTube? It's causing everything to break.
Wait, click it. Reveal later. I don't know.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
Okay, we're back. Oh man, my entire computer was bugging out for a second. I hope the stream is doing okay.
All right. Well, we can hear you.
The stream is not doing okay.
Stream is not doing okay.
The stream crashed, but let's see. I think we're still. I mean, I was expecting there to be a bit of a delay between when Audie joined the call again and the stream being back, but yeah, I don't think the stream is doing anything.
Okay. Maybe they can hear us. Someone in chat, give me a thumbs up. Give me a Audie smiley face. You can hear us. Give me one of those. The Dart shooters came through. So true. All right. So we should. I think that we're back. We can keep going. I hope this looks okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and of course, as per usual, I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning, but if you did miss part of this at the start, or maybe you didn't, you wanted to see me stall for time while my computer was falling apart, you can check this out on YouTube tomorrow. That's right, it'll be all on YouTube tomorrow. Hopefully with fewer crashes. And yeah,
right.
What were there any teams in top 16 that you wanted to talk about?
Let's go back and double check.
The screen is frozen.
What tournament?
Screen does seem like it's having issues.
Of Milwaukee?
We're still looking at Milwaukee. We're looking at some Milwaukee stuff. Yeah, we just revisited Milwaukee because we didn't cover all the teams last week because there was so much to talk about.
Okay, it sounds like we're good.
Yeah, so... Well, okay, Audie, I want you to know that like there's like a insane delay. Like remember when you said give us a thumbs up in chat? That just hit.
Oh, wait, that's crazy.
That was like 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well,
are we back?
I think we're back at the very least.
Give us the thumbs down if you hear me.
And the stream is just catching up a little bit, it sounds like.
Okay. So let's go and go ahead and just, I guess, get back into it. Hopefully things work. Bro got like a minute delay, exactly. We'll see when you hear me respond to your minute delay Twitch chat message.
All right. Well, let's talk about some more teams, and we'll just respond. We never really respond to Twitch chat that promptly, anyways, so I'm not too worried about them being on a delay.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Did y'all talk about Riley's team?
No, but the team is
Not
kind of
really.
psychotic.
It is just like the same thing, right? He ran it back,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
with a new.
Expert belt turtle is kind of interesting.
He replaced the Ursa Luna on the team with this turtle. Like basically everything else is kind of the same. And what's funny is it was kind of like a dead giveaway that this was Riley on the ladder when I played against him. But on the ladder because it was running expert belt on Terapagos with all of the mons that he ran in the previous format. And you could call expert belt the Riley signature. Nobody else is running expert belt, buddy. That item was invented like in 2002. Why are we still using expert belts?
I think I'd rather run Ursa Luna than Terapagos on this team. I'm not gonna lie.
That's funny.
He dropped the gut spare when like everyone is investing in gut spare. Like I don't know. I thought this guy knew how to trade stocks. Like he dropped it at the wrong time, dude. It's popping right now. I don't remember how the stocks work. I don't remember how the terms work.
It's a bear market, as they say in the stock world.
It really is a bear market.
Well,
He did. Okay, yes. Go ahead, Burns.
I can talk about Ice Rider Koraidon if we want, because I was supposed to be at this tournament with that team.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But first, really quick before we move from Riley's team, it is important to note that the Miraidon did have Draco Meteor, which is insane for Riley, because he never runs a move that can miss. How funny. All right, go ahead, Burns. Talk about Ice Age, as I like to call it.
Yeah, so I think it mainly kind of is based on the concept of Wolf's team from EUIC, where you can run like Instant Amoongus Koraidon Flutter, and that's just really strong into a lot of stuff. Just if you adding Kali Ice plus Bolt gives you your Ice Electric coverage, and it gives you another mode like Instant Amoongus Kali Ice Bolt. And then I think the team that the version Z ended up bringing had Chiyu, which is also kind of like based on who was it? Hirofumi's Worlds team last year with like Chiyu, Flutter, Bolt, Ice Rider, Amoongus. And Koraidon kind of helps facilitate the like more aggressive modes. So it was just really nice, and I think Ice Rider maybe going into this format, one of its harder matchups in Reg G was Kyogre, and having a Koraidon to turn off the rain definitely helps into Kyogre. So I think that was kind of the early concept. It did end up struggling a bit against all these like Lunala, Ursaluna Trick Room teams, but it still managed to do pretty decently well given the hostile metagame.
Yeah, the one that was the highest placing one I think was Kalen's with Iron Hands in the slot that you kind of described as Raging Bolt, and then Chiyu Burp on it as well. So maybe a little more aggressive. I like this version a lot. I think Kalen said he played the mirror as well in and there were a couple players using this version that did well. I think that one of the cool things, one of the things that you really want your second restricted to do on these Koraidon teams is KO Tornadus, so they can't click Rain Dance and they can't click Tailwind. They have to choose one, and you can kind of position around those two things. And so Caloric Size doing that is really cool. That's like, I think one of the main things is that it just forces your opponent that usually wants to try to go faster than these Flutter Mane Chiyu Koraidon teams to consider that you can actually slow down with your Caloric Size and either Amoongus or Brute Bonnet, and in this case, the Iron Hands, which I think really rounds that mode out really strongly. So this is definitely a team that I would expect to see more of. I think this team is quite strong, and I think the Sun in general is like one of the strongest things you can be doing, and it doesn't have 1 second restricted that you need to run on it, and so being able to fit this Tricker mode with Iron Hands Caloric Size is a nice little touch.
The I was gonna say, I don't know. Did we touch on Collins' team? I can't remember.
I don't think so. We can go Collins team for sure. I think there were a couple teams that looked. I guess Collins team, and I think Wolf's team were actually quite similar. I know they played each other at one point as
Right,
well.
they did. The only reason I was going to mention Collins' team is I don't have to dive into it too much, but it's just like a team that I actually influenced. So like that's why I could speak on it more than like some of the other ones, at least with the specific decisions. But I do like Leftovers Lunala a lot compared to like the Meteor Beam ones that a lot of people were running. Obviously, we saw non Meteor Beam Lunala win the whole tournament, so other people were starting to understand that as well. And I kind of also, I mean, again, that's not that original of a thought, but it was also on the same train of like Luna being a very deadly duo with Ursaluna Lunala here. But yeah, other than that, Colin and I did record a team report for it today, so you can check that out on his channel. Uh, Whenever it gets uploaded. I don't know when it's getting uploaded. I broke it down there. But yeah, it was this was like one of my backup options for the tournament, and it's I'm glad that Colin was able to run so deep with it because he was really feeling the team.
So did you just steal Wolf's team again? Is that what you did?
Kinda. I mean, yeah. The thing was, it kind of started as like I wanted to blend Incin, Amoongus, Ursaluna, and um, Incin, Amoongus, Ursaluna, and Lunala with the Koraidon Flutter that Wolf was using with Incident Amoongus, because he did say at some point, I think, that he felt that his Reg G core minus the Perish mode, like, could be applicable to other Reg G teams, and I don't think we ended up really seeing that in Reg G's run from that point on after he won a UIC, but I did feel like it could definitely have some influence with a second restricted, and yeah, adding Luna to it, it felt like it played really well. It had a good amount of fast-paced offense and the ability to control the flow of the game with like Instant Amoongus classically. That's VGC.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I also got Wolf's team pulled up. It's the same five with the Raging Bolt over the Ursaluna, which I think both of these teams look very terrifying for my Ho-Oh team. I was hoping to dodge both of them throughout the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other team that we got to talk about is Dawei's team, which is absolutely wild. One of the coolest teams to come out of this tournament. With Grimsnarl, Miraidon, Ho-Oh. I know you've seen that card before because you watched my team report, but this one is Calm Mind, Covert Cloak, Miraidon, which is kind of sick.
Yeah, I actually unfortunately ended this one's run. I was the one who eliminated Dawei, and it was a 3-game set. But before I sat down, Dawei told me like, "Yeah, I don't really do that well against Ice Rider," and I was like, "You don't say." Like, what'd you say, Bruce?
I love pre-Johnning. That's how he took you to game
I,
3.
I called out Dawei for it. Don't worry. I said, by the way, I do think that making excuses before the match is a little overpowered because it makes you look really good when you win and not so bad when you lose. So how about you just try believing in yourself, you know? But I did, and then we just talked about anime.
Pretty well.
Nice. I don't know
It is
if
basically Rinya's son.
it's what.
This is basically Rinya's son.
This is basically Rinya's son.
It
I
is.
agree. Right? It's Grimsnarl and Cinnamore. I mean, Ho-Oh is basically Charizard, right? And Miraidon is basically Groudon. They're both Dawn. Yeah, it's basically Rinya's son. All right. I don't know if there are other teams that we want to talk about. I think we talked about a lot of the big storylines and top players on the last podcast.
For sure.
And we got 3 regionals to cover. So I think we should get started with that.
Let's go ahead.
So first and foremost, there is the regional in Oceania. Do we have links for this pulled up? I gotta find them. We do. All right. So we're starting with Melbourne, I think, because it is probably the smallest event. I don't know which one's gonna be smaller at this end.
First
Santiago.
chronologically too.
But yeah, it also starts first. So that's right. And so yeah, the last of 3 regionals, I want to say, that Australia has this year, and it's going to really decide who gets their Worlds invites because they only have 20 Worlds invites on the line. And so we're going to quickly go through the Australian leaderboard. Obviously, this does not include the latest Grand Challenge results, so this is going to be shifted a little bit. And obviously, these players can travel to other regions, especially the North American International Championships, to potentially earn a Worlds invite that way. And then also from the last two regionals in Australia, we saw Oliver Ramsey win one of them, and I believe Diego Ferreira won the other one. And so there are going to be they did protect their region from both their Worlds invites. I don't think they earned any Worlds invites off internationals, if I recall correctly, which means there are going to be 23 Worlds invites given out in Australia, if you include the winner of this regional.
Wait for NAIC. Wait for NAIC.
It's true. Yeah. There are some strong
Okay.
Australian players showing up, so that's true. Australia could make a run for it, get top 4 at NAIC, and also, like I said, some players from outside this range could definitely do well at NAIC and make it. But right now, the cutoff is 572 with Mitch. Mitch is the last person to have a Worlds invite right now. 557 with Zelda VGC, former Worlds runner-up, currently missing out on the bubble. So you can see here, this is going to be a lot of competition for that the last couple slots in Australia. At Melbourne, and I imagine that almost everyone in this range is probably going to be going and trying to get the last few points. I see Megan Rattle also in that range there. Original name, another big player who is potentially missing out. Luke I, another player. So a lot of players right on the wrong side of the bubble who might want to get in. Obviously, Zelda being the other one that I mentioned earlier. I don't know what else to talk about for the actual preview for Melbourne. I've never been. Have you guys been to Melbourne? Was Internats there?
Yes, I've been twice.
I think I went
Alex,
to
you went to Sydney.
I went to Sydney. Yes. Thank you.
I went to Melbourne. Wait, no. Alex, you did go to Melbourne, remember?
Okay, thank you. I was losing. I think I've been to both. Have I been to Australia twice? Yes, I have.
I've also been to
I got
Australia
ninth at the one that was in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great city. There's like a really cool, really incredible croissants shop. Do you remember that?
I do actually, yes. No, that was fire.
On the line, and you got the last one that I wanted.
Oh no, I do remember this. Yeah, that was super unfortunate.
But I did get to try it the day before because
right.
Aaron Traylor brought some.
Shout out Traylor, dude. So are you gonna make us pick smart monies for this one, Adi?
I am gonna make you pick smart monies for this one. Who's your smart money for Melbourne regionals? Are we doing?
I'm picking my
go ahead.
2 students who will not be named because I don't name my students.
All right, we'll pick someone else. You can't pick no one for smart money.
Dude, I'm actually gonna go for the double dip. I don't know why I'm going first. Justin, you're technically allowed to go first if you have a guess, or not a guess, a pick.
I'm gonna put smart money on Snow. I think he invades Australia and steals an invite since he didn't qualify for Worlds through.
I love it. Dude, I wonder if it's still open. I wonder if people could. It says sign up sold out.
Oh, okay. So maybe he didn't. He probably didn't sign up. All right.
Tough.
I don't know.
Put me down for Diego. I'm grabbing Diego for. I think he could just do it again, dude.
I'm gonna smart money Alistair.
Alistair?
Yeah, Alistair's a good pick.
All right,
I'm picking. Know if he's going or not, but he's really good.
I'm picking Kieran. He's my boy. He's he's apparently he won this regional before. He can win it again. He won it last year. Going back to back. That's your one Melbourne fun fact of the day is that Kieran got won this regional last year. I don't know. We really don't have much to say about this one. And speaking of things we don't have much to say about, Santiago is coming up as well this weekend. Santiago in Chile, and it looks like we don't have the number of players for here. Probably don't have a stream either, which is a shame. I wonder if I think I saw the Australian grassroots streaming thing that we saw that we talked about a few weeks ago. is doing another stream
Oh yeah,
with
I'll try to
Australian
do that.
talent.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
would love to see them eventually build up to actually streaming Australian regionals because it is a shame that we don't get to see those games in action.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Once again, smart moneying my students going to this one.
okay.
Um,
Well,
who
in
love
this
you, Dave.
case, I can tell you there are going to be there are 50 Worlds invites given out to Latin America. I believe there are an additional 9 auto invites if you include the winner of this event. 8 so far because they have Renzo from top 4 of LAIC, and then 7 of the 8 regionals so far have been won by Latin American players, and one was won by Riley. So Riley sniped one of their Worlds invites from this region. I don't know if all those players are currently in the top 58 or 59 right now. I didn't check that far, but right now, 58th place at in Latin America is at 649 points. With Jimmy Slay, 59th, currently right outside the bubble, is Gonzalo Barrera out of Peru. Notably about this event, because it is in Chile, which is, of course, in the southernmost part of South America, I got to imagine a lot of the Mexican players on this list are not going to be going to this event. It is quite far. And a lot of the South American players from Peru, Brazil, Chile, Argentina are going to be going to this event instead. While this is technically the last event in Latin America, there is still NAIC that a lot of players from the northern part of Latin America, namely Mexico, will show up to. And so you're going to see a lot of Mexicans right outside the bubble right here in the 65 to 75 range. And also a lot of Mexicans are just on the right side of the bubble in that 35 to 50 range as well. So they're definitely going to have one final shot at shaking up the Latin American standings going into the final tournament of the year. But for now, for the Latin American region, this is the last tournament of the year for them. And yeah, again, it's going to be a fun tournament to watch and see how these standings shake up with this one last regional.
It's gonna be sweaty.
It's going to be sweaty. And with that, we're going to make you pick. Who's your smart money for Santiago?
I'm gonna go with Paul.
I'm grabbing Max. I'm grabbing Max from chat. Max Morales.
Max Morales. We got a Paul Ruiz. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Sebastian Rodriguez, commander, who I assume is going, and he's been having a really strong season. So wouldn't be shocked if he gets another dub after winning. I believe the
Kenneth is a good pick from Mexico as well.
I don't know if Kenneth is going. Oh, Kenneth has been confirmed. Okay,
no,
cool.
I said this because of the Twitch chat. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, I also imagine that the top 8 is very competitive in Latin America to get the travel award to Los Angeles. Although Los Angeles isn't as bad to travel to as some of the other locations we've had coming from Central or South America. So, I still think it's very stupid that Latin America is one region. I think it should be 2. Given that the Mexican players and the Caribbean players are just in such a fundamentally different environment than the South American players, we should just have like North LATAM and South LATAM, and that would make this a lot more fair.
I mean, the problem is we also just completely lost, I guess we didn't lose Oceania as a region, but we lost OCIC. It's just I don't know.
We can keep having Brazil Internet. That's just fine. If we had North LATAM, maybe we could have Mexico Internet too. Wouldn't that be cool? As replacing OCIC?
Dude, I'm down.
I mean, I think it'd just be NA players invading. It'd be great. But then again, that was OCIC too.
3 internets in the Americas.
Yep.
I mean, okay, to be fair, New Orleans is very it's probably pretty easy to get to New Orleans from North Latin.
As easy as it's one of the easiest spots you could probably get from.
Aside from the whole getting visas and approved entry,
Of course.
I don't know.
Any players going down to Chile? I don't know actually.
Not gonna lie, I was thinking about it at one point. I decided not to, but it'd be cool. Chile is a place I've always wanted to go, and it's I mean, it'd just be like a cool trip to go to because it is a regional, right? You do get prize money. You can potentially earn your money back going to it. It's not the biggest tournament, so no, I definitely considered it.
Is it called Chile because it's shaped like a chili pepper?
Why is the country called Chile? Let's find out.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
thinking
No.
about it. Is it
It's from
actually?
no. It's
Did the AI tell you yes?
30 things you don't know about Chile. The origin of the name may come from the indigenous Aymara word Chile, meaning where the land ends. It could also be based on the Mapuche imitation of a bird call, which sounds like Chile, Chile.
All right, let's go to our last one, I think.
No, sorry, I'm actually very invested in the etymology of Chile.
Okay,
we're gonna keep doing this, yeah.
I'll
No,
have
I
a
don't.
great time looking at it on the Twitch stream in 2 minutes.
I don't see any more info. All right,
Why is my poop green? Was the first thing.
All right, the last regional of the year of this I guess it's a special event technically, so it's the least prestigious of all these events, but I think it's going to have the biggest metagame impact. The Europeans finally get to show us what they've been cooking, and I'm sure it's not just going to be Mortang team over and over again, right? And yeah, this is going to be in Utrecht in the Netherlands. This last year, I believe, was the one that this was when the TO beat Aurelian in. Aurelian went undefeated, lost in the finals to TO's Snow team, which was really cool to see. One of my favorite tournaments from last season to watch, Regulation F. But yeah, this one will be streamed. This one will be streamed. Maybe we'll do a rewatch, right? This would be a fun one to do a rewatch for. You think? Well, we'll see.
I definitely want to be checking this one out. It's going to be very important to keep up with for just all the events later in the season. Like you said, it will have some genuine meta impact, as much as I like to dogpile on Europe. But yeah, I'm hoping to see. I don't know. I guess I am still hoping to see something that's like interesting, because I'm expecting, like you said, a lot of Tang Team, probably a lot of CSR Zama, a lot of CSR Turtle. Maybe there's some teams that take inspiration from Japan Nats and do things a little bit different. Maybe Kyogre's time is finally here. Probably not. I still think he's bad. But man, this is not actually the last regional for them. I mean, special event regional level, right? They have one more after Portland, I believe.
They have the Bologna special event in Italy. It's the last event of the year.
Yes. So we probably don't need to do too much of a standing updates yet, because things are going to shake up a little bit too much between now and then they will genuinely be sending some people over to NAIC, and that might end up shaking things up a little bit too. That said, who to pick for this one? The biggest question always is who is going. But yeah, who you guys think is going to go deep in this one? Burns?
I'm gonna go with Frederick Hoge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He's going. He did well in the GC, right?
Did well in the GC.
Got third.
Kept his team hidden. Smart.
So
must have something good cooked up, right? That's how you know.
yeah.
That definitely tells me that, they are probably bringing something, like they're probably bringing the same thing to the tournament. It probably involves Blood Moon, because it always does. And yeah, they also they had a lot of success using the same teams between like IRL tournaments and the online global or grand challenges, whatever you want to say. So yeah, I'll grab MDB just because I think that he's taken Reg I pretty seriously. Did decently in the GC, and I think is planning on using. I mean, I hope I'm not revealing too much, but I don't think this would be crazy for me to say. Like, I think he's planning on using something that is not his GC team at the tournament. I don't know if that's a big whoa moment, but
I mean, he did post his pace. Sure.
He literally posted his pace. So
I don't think
he'll
he'll
be
be
crazy. Makes sense.
You did definitely steal my pick. I was definitely banking on picking MDB here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick. I think. Do we know if the Spaniards are going? I don't know if the Spaniards are going, but I feel like they've been doing really well in GC. Both Eric Rios and Alex Gomez. So I'm going to pick Alex Gomez if he's going. If anyone can confirm that, because I think he's been. You can see him right now. He is currently outside the top 12 to get the travel awards. I think he's going to be really motivated. I think he, I've been hearing that the CSR Pagos team is his team, and I think that's a really good meta call right now. And so if he goes, I wouldn't be shocked if he did very well.
He is the turtle father, as I know so far. He's built a team that I think he's giving to like all of his coaching students and friends as well, and wouldn't be surprised if he's using something similar himself, or maybe an updated version. That, or he's pulling the greatest meta manipulation of all time, and is just going to be bringing the team that beats Turtle really badly. I would not put that past him.
Nah, maybe we'll see. I think that I have no idea. I think that this thing is like we have an idea of what Europe tends to use, and we have an idea of what is common right now and what's been doing well in these like online tournaments since in this past weekend. But I really think that it's hard to build in this format, and we've seen like groups of really good players find very innovative solutions to the format and do very well so far. Wouldn't shock me if maybe the group of Spaniards, maybe a group of Germans, I don't know who, has cooked up something very special and is going to kind of take over the tournament like we saw the Tang Andrew Ding team do at Milwaukee. Who knows? It'll be fun to see.
I can only hope. Please do something interesting, Europe, for once.
Well, you got to understand, the team that they would have broken the format open with is definitely like a CSR Zama team, right? Like, surely it's a CSR Zama team.
Yeah, I mean, it will technically be like proving that it can still do it because it had such a bad run in Milwaukee. But like, I still haven't started doubting it since then.
And
I'll be honest, like I don't even mind the like Tang team. For everybody that's like getting annoyed by seeing the Tang team everywhere, I think it's like a cool team still. I still hate Shadow Riders on the Zenta board.
What? Someone said Alex
is not going?
Damn. All right. In that case, I'm going to have to pick the... oh, man. I hope Tio is going. I'm picking Tio as maybe his one event of the year. We're going with Tio. I hope he's going. I actually don't know that one for sure either. But I know he is studying in the Netherlands, and so might be his one chance of going to an event. Of course, he got his Worlds invite last year at the... no, he didn't get his Worlds invite, right? He didn't get auto invites last year. But yeah, he did win the event.
No,
year.
they did.
They did? Okay.
Your special events got auto invites. It was just the other special events that didn't.
Right. Okay.
Also, wait, Adi, who are you picking exactly? What's
Nikhil
their
Reddy.
full name?
Nikhil Reddy.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not confusing. When you said Tio, I just wanted to make sure you weren't talking about Teo Time or Teo Time.
No.
I was just like, they're both players in Europe, right?
So. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Also, who would have been a very good pick? I know also an Ursaluna enthusiast. So he got top 8 at one of the Reg H events with an Ursaluna team. But yeah, that is our preview for the 3 regionals that are happening. Next week is going to be...
You want to try one more time?
Oh, Adi, you got to pick again.
Tio's not going. Are you kidding me? Fine. In this case, I'll pick the other Tio. I'll pick Tia Time Masood. And if you tell me he's not going, I'm done. I'm tapping out.
He's taking guaranteed last at that point.
Like I said, Tia Time has had a... I've got these queued up. I can do a monologue about any European player. Just throw one at me. But Tia Time has had a really good season so far. He beat me in World Cup to secure France moving on to the top 4 stage, I think. And also has been using Ursaluna to a lot of effectiveness. So when Ursaluna is the best team in the format, maybe he's the guy. We'll see. Maybe he's not going, for all I know.
In all likelihood at this point.
All right. Should we do the calculus right?
I kind of need to get going, unfortunately, because...
All right.
Honestly, it's not because I have anything going on, but because I've had my headphones in my ears all day and they're just killing me.
Okay, all good. This was a fun one going through these 3 regionals, and again, next week we have 3 regionals to recap, so it's going to be a long week. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and then I'm going to have a lot of fun trying to test for all those teams that did well before Portland regionals a week after that.
I know. Yeah. We'll get back to Calcas right at some point once we have a.
Which weekend is Portland?
2 weeks from now.
The one after. Not this one with the 3, but the one after that. So
Gotcha.
23.
Is that Memorial Day weekend?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Are you going?
No.
Damn.
I'm going to
There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time.
No.
It's open. Get in there.
It's not too late.
A Japanese player.
Let me check. I don't think it's too late.
All right. Well, while Alex checks
I
out,
saw someone register yesterday, so it's definitely still open, unless that was the last person to register.
No, Portland's open, and it
What's the
says
number looking
NAIC's
like?
open, but I don't know if that's like a. It says 543 for Portland.
543. That's a small regional. Barely counts. Wolfstock going. I don't know.
So true.
Not worth it.
So true.
I've been
agree.
getting burned by flights too much. I'm not gonna
Right.
I'm not gonna even attempt at this time.
Right.
It's probably also like mad expensive now.
Yeah, definitely.
I used my West Coast trip on basketball this year
And Worlds.
and Worlds,
Mhm.
but mostly basketball.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that is going to wrap it up from us. Alex can finally take his headphones off real soon. We are going to send you over to